Cameroon. I'm sorry to ask you, but since October 1st, there have been hundreds of people killed there. Your envoy, Francois Fall, has said he was going to go but hasn't gone. People are extremely concerned, and I'm just wondering, are we missing something? Are you preventing conflict in this instance, or what is the UN doing? Thank you. I tried to ask yesterday, and again, it's an ongoing process, about Cameroon. An opposition now outside of the Anglophone regions in Douala had been permitted to have a protest, specifically about what they call genocide in northwest and southwest regions. The permit has been pulled, and the protest is going ahead, and it's widely assumed that this will result in yet more bloodshed. And so the question again arises: what is Mr. Fall doing? Where does that stand?
First of all, I think the Secretary General did not hear your question on Cameroon yesterday, because he mentioned that to me. So I just want to make that that clear.
111-page report on sexual abuse in the CAR that was found. There was one sort of untied up string was a staff member named Renner Onana, who was an aide to Babacar Guy, and at that time it was said that it was unclear if discipline was applied or what happened. Maybe, I don't know if you'll know, but if you can find out if the person is at the mission, and can we find out what in particular while he's there, the Secretary General who he's being briefed by, and whether he meets with victims of sexual abuse, the things that he talked about at the stakeout. But Mr. Renner Onana, if you don't have it now, there's a way to know whatever happened with that case.
I believe that case was opened. I don't have an update on where that case stands, but I can check. Okay, and thanks. And just, I learned yesterday, and maybe you'll confirm it or deny it, and it may just be a stopover, but some were saying that the Secretary General on the 27th of October will be in Cameroon for 2 hours in the evening, on an Air France flight that goes from Bangui to Yaoundé and then to Paris, and that the President, Paul Biya, might meet him at the airport. I didn't see it on the schedule, but there are various different sides of the issue speaking about it. And I wanted to know if you could confirm that, and also if the UN has done anything regarding the case of Nsako Basinji, who's a high-profile environmental and Anglophone activist who's been jailed since September 25th, and various groups have now spoken out, and I'm wondering, has the UN done anything to have this entirely nonviolent activist released? Well, that's several questions. Yes. On the last of those, we have been raising our concerns about all detained activists, and we'll continue to do so. Regarding the Secretary General's travel plans, there's no other trip to announce at this point. If we have any further announcements down the line, we'll let you know. But for now, he will be in the Central African Republic through the 27th. And was there anything else? I mean, the government of Cameroon seems to understand that he's flying on a flight that goes from Bangui to Yaoundé, but between 7 and 9 p.m., he'll be in the airport in Yaoundé, and the President, Paul Biya, may meet with him there. That's why I'm asking you. Well, whenever the Secretary General is flying, there's sometimes different stopovers, but there's nothing to announce at present. If we have anything, we'll let you know at that point. I asked you yesterday whether not just will the Secretary General meet with, but whether this Renner Onana, who was named in the UN's own report on sexual abuse in CAR, is still with the mission. And I've since asking you, I don't have an answer yet, but I've seen a photograph of him with Fabrizio Hochschild as recently as 5 December 2016, and him described as the head of MINUSCA Regional Office Center, which seems to be a promotion. Is it the case that Renner Onana, after being named as in a problematic way in terms of the cover-up of sexual abuse in CAR, was promoted? Is he still with the mission? And what is the Secretary General, how does he explain that? Well, regarding that, I'm still checking up on his status. I believe he may still have a position with the mission, but whether he's on active duty or not, I'm checking about that, and I'll need to figure out where he stands. And only on the trip, just because it's related. Okay. There's other Cameroon, people. Do you have any announcements? Oh, excuse me. There's other people. Yes.
On the Dag Hammarskjöld report, you just.
Did you have a question? Okay, back to you.
Sure. Yeah, I wanted to ask about on the trip, but I'd asked yesterday, and again, since the Cameroon mission to the UN has told me that the Secretary General will be stopping in Yaoundé on October 27th, and even named the number of the Air France flight. I'm just wondering, there's a lot of interest in it. There's been a lot of questions about the UN's response or lack of response, or hearing the questions about Cameroon. Can you say whether they're going, whether he in fact is going there, and if so, will he meet the President? This seems like a basic.
At this point, I've got nothing to announce. As you know, when we get to confirm things, we'll announce them, but we're not at that point.
Has he made his airplane reservation? Because they know
we do not talk about airplane or airline arrangements. If there's any meetings to announce, we'll announce that in due course. time, and it seems like it should be pretty straightforward. Mr. Renner Anana was named in the UN's own report and in multiple press reports about it as having he was criticized in the report for the cover-up, what was viewed as the covered-up of sexual abuse. So I wanted to know, given that there's a photograph that he got a promotion, is he still at the mission? And how do you explain it with the idea of this is not about a member state disciplining or not disciplining a peacekeeper? Was there some other finding outside of the UN's own report about what happened that exonerated him? What was done in terms of accountability?
Well, like I said before, we're checking up on this. I don't have the details for you yet, but we've asked our colleagues for details about this particular situation. As you know, when we pursue accountability in cases involving staff, we do that also in line with following due process, which is also one of our standards.
But how can you'd said yesterday that maybe he was still, I guess, on the payroll but not in the country. Do they not know where he is? Was he given a promotion?
I'm trying to get details about what his precise status is. I don't have that yet. Yes.
News Center story about a UN police officer from Cameroon, and it describes a day in the life and helping rape victims and stuff. But I guess I wanted to know, given the issues that have actually taken place by the security forces of Cameroon this year, what vetting is in place by the UN in terms of these deployments? And I ask because in the case of at least Burundi, it's said that there is or was a staff member in Geneva that would actually, go over the record of the individuals coming forward. Was this vetted? And secondarily, I'm just going to ask again, since tomorrow is Friday, is it a secure, or do you know whether or not he's stopping in Cameroon? And if so, why wouldn't you say it, given the interest there in it? It's an Air France flight, so it doesn't seem to be a security issue. Is it that he's not going to go? Is it that you don't know if he's going to go, or is there something that I'm missing here?
Until we're sure of what the Secretary's schedule is, we don't announce things. So we'll see when there's something to announce. Like I said, we'll make that announcement. We're not at that stage at this point. Regarding vetting, it's the same for Cameroon as it is for other contingents. We have vetting, including regarding human rights due diligence.